I'm not a good singer. That's okay.
I bet you are.
I'm not.
I bet you
no,
are.
But, I'm not. That's the thing. I know I'm not.
I know you probably are.
Hi, my name's Joelle, and this is Why I Create. I guess I would listen to a lot of musicians, like stupid punk pop music when I was little. You know, I wanted to be a part of something, and I felt like it was like the right amount of like heavy. But as I grew up, I was like, no, it's kind of like they're not really talking about what really is important. They're just kind of talking about women that they, you know, want to mess with, or they're just kind of talking about partying and stupid stuff. And I don't know, like, really, I noticed that there's like a break in between pop music and in between other music, and that I wanted to do something different than everybody else was doing, and that I wanted to incorporate stuff that's happening now, whether it be politics, whether it be religious beliefs, whether it be, I don't know, you know, I want to have a voice for my time.
My name is Brooke, and this is Why I Create. I guess the reason for why I create, ever since I was younger, I've always loved to draw. I've always loved to create things, and what I ended up falling in love with was animation, because then I realized that my drawings and whatever else I can imagine, I created on paper, and then I realized that I could put that out there and put into like a motion picture. And I think that is so neat that whatever I do, it could end up like on a motion picture, and everyone all over can see. And not only can I touch younger children with my works, if they were to get out there, but also older people, because I could make them feel something through what I drew potentially, and then make them feel as if they're not alone, and that I could give them hope for what they want to do. I just think that's really cool that my works could potentially give out these feelings, and that's how I want to touch the world, I guess.
My name is Jacob, and this is Why I Create. I create because I've always had a need to articulate myself. I've always had feelings that I didn't really know how to verbally explain, and that I feel are much better expressed through music and through sound. And I just have a really fond feeling for sound. I just like certain sounds, and especially certain music. It just gives me a happy feeling. Like I can be alone in a room for hours and just listen to music and be content. So I don't create anything else because I'm pretty bad at art, but I find that music is the closest to who I am, and the way I can express myself to people the least cringily. I don't know if that's a word, but I just try to keep it as real as possible, but not sappy or anything like that.
My name is Cole, and this is Why I Create. Well, I mean, at first it was more like I'm just going to kind of mess around and see where that goes. Most of the instruments I play, I'm self-taught, and so I was taught bass, and I played in a jazz band, and so that was like, it was fun, but it wasn't like, I really want to be a bassist for the rest of my life. My stepdad got me my first guitar, and so when I was 12, I started picking that up and playing like really simple, like Wilco songs and stuff like that. But about the time I got to high school was when I really felt like I wanted to do something with it. And then I met Jacob and our two other bandmates who have, kind of shifted in and out of stuff. But I think the time that we recorded a song for a TV show in the credit sequence, and once that was done and the headache that was, I think that was the moment that it all clicked, and I wanted to go somewhere, whether it was being a musician or music production.
Hi, my name is Jackson, and this is why I create. I would say specifically just growing up over the years and like being surrounded in like households like where like movies are such like it's such a focal point, like that's just like what you do every single night. You watch a movie, like when you're in your free time, like you watch a movie. Like that's just how I was raised, like through my father and like through my grandparents who like just exposed me to so much great like powerful cinema at such a young age. And ever since then, as I've gotten older, it's one thing that has like truly stuck with me, and it's an art form that I truly admire because it's so powerful. Because I think one of my favorite directors, Frank Capra, once said like filmmakers are some of the most influential people in the world because they have a power that no president or world leader has. They can put people in a room in the dark for 2 hours and directly speak to them. And I think that pretty much clocks like the power of the film industry like as a whole. It would be so cool, and it would be just the ultimate dream if I could someday like be amongst the ranks of some of the filmmakers that I idolized growing up and still idolize and still am inspired by and hope to be like. Just growing up and understanding like the power of cinema, and that really spoke to me at such a young age and still is speaking to me now, and it's the reason why I'm here, because like I'm still inspired by that.
My name is Jaden, and this is why I create. Every time I think about art, I think like graphic design. That's like the one thing I really want to do. I like really wanted to get into coding for a second because I wanted to know how to make a website. Like I want to know how to do everything. I don't want to know how to, I want to be good, really good at one thing, but I want to know how to do everything. When I came to the media camp, they actually showed me how to get started in After Effects, and I made a couple of videos after I got home. When I hear someone tell me this is really good, I couldn't do it myself. It makes me feel good. It makes me know that like I did something that nobody else could do. Because even if someone follows like the steps that I took to make that piece in whatever medium I do, they'll never be able to do it exactly like me. And that's what I like about art. It's all original. There's no copies. You can try as hard as you want, but you're never going to get exactly what the other person made.
One of my first memories was at Mall of America when I was really little, and my parents, there was like a daycare center area, and they put me there. It was like a dreamland. Like they took real cars and they would take out the engine of the cars and have kids like play in them and pretend to drive them. And they would have like a wall that had TVs on them, and each TV was like a different program. They had everything, and it was like toys, but huge sizes. And I loved it. And I just remember I went to the restroom, and across from the hall is the boys' restroom, and this little boy walked out, and his hands were full of poop. He grabbed his poop and rubbed it on all of the toys. It rubbed it on everything. And I just remember, like, my mind, I was so sad about it, because it was like, why do we have all these amazing things and you just spoil it for everybody? And I don't know, like, for me, it's like that with music. It's like when you hear other people's criticism of your artwork, it spoils your, like, it almost makes you, it makes you feel like spoiled milk, you know? It doesn't make you feel good. But also, there's just another reason to do it, to get better at it. So then when you really start making money off your artwork and your music, then you can just be like, all right, well, you said that you spread all this poop on my stuff, but you didn't.
They'll never be able to do it exactly like me.
Filmmakers are some of the most influential people in the world.
I find that music is the closest to who I am.
I could give them hope for what they want to do.
That you ever
that's why I create.
And 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 that's why I create.
That is why I create.